Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Hare Krishna. So in today's class we'll discuss what does Bhagavad Gita says about this life. Actually this life is a chance, but people they have idea like this life is a chance to prove ourselves the best, to show the best in us, to be on the top, to earn respect, to earn society, to prove yourself to the world. But what does Bhagavad Gita actually says about life? It says that the life's purpose is to understand about the real self and the absolute truth. It comes in Vedanta Sutra like Athato Brahma Jigyasa. It says Athato means now Brahma Jigyasa, inquire about absolute truth. It specifies that now, because now we have got a human body. As we understand, even the plants they are living, even animals they are living. So same kind of soul is there in plants, animals, different cats, dogs, whales, mammals. Same soul is exhibiting in residing in different bodies. But in human body we can inquire about this absolute truth. And we understand from Bhagavad Gita, it says that we are not this body, but we see the reflection in the mirror. We are not this. We are actually a soul, which is accepting the body as a dress. Just like we wear someday we wear one kurta, we wear one t-shirt, one pant shirt, different set of pant shirt. So this body is just like a advanced pant shirt, or you can say advanced suit, which is covering the soul. And we can understand this by a very simple example, like a dead body and a living body. If we analyze chemically, both they are same chemical, they have same chemical composition, everything is same, but the living force is not there. So dead body it cannot enjoy, but whereas the living body can. That is due to presence of the soul. And this is the soul's nature to enjoy in this world. But we are not really enjoying. We are trapped in a suffering cycle. If we understand, ignorance is the cause of suffering. It's like a child is there, but child doesn't know about his future, what he is meant to do. That's why their parents they constantly guide the child. Now you do this. Now you study. You look after your health. You don't just don't just play all day. You have to balance things properly. They know about future. They know about what is his ultimate benefit. Ultimately, what will benefit him? Parents they decide this for child and take decision. So, child thinks playing is in benefit, not like looking after health, studying. But that is immediate benefit. In Shastras, it is described as prayas. But we have to look for ultimate benefit. Means the not just the temporary benefit, which will ultimately help us. And as from Bhagavad Gita, we understand this life is a preparation for next life. Just like in whatever way we are, acting ourselves, we will be given a different body according to our actions and karma. And if we analyze more carefully, like right from our beginning of the birth of a child, is always suffering. Just like when one is an infant, is always crying, misery, so many problems. Parents they are in constant anxiety to put the child in healthy state, not suffer from so many vaccines they put, so many treatments it has to be done. Even nowadays, like before it's born, like there has to be some surgery so that the child can born, and it's always anxiety. And when we grow up in schools, we are meant to pass exams, work hard, unnecessarily submit assignments, deal with teachers, and preparation of JEE, NEET, and some other exams. So this is all anxiety to secure a good future. Parents they want us to secure a good future, but in order to do that, there is so much anxiety. And if someone passes school, then there is college. In college, same thing we repeat, but with little more technical subjects. Like then they're also passing exams. But then you have more this social influence, people, they see you, they judge you, you are uncool, you are not fitting, then you try to fit socially. This is just a social aspect, but then ultimately comes placements. Companies are coming, even though we are prepared, but we do not know whether we'll be taken or rejected. So placement, the companies comes to to give a job, but we are in anxiety, we'll get a job or not. There's so much anxiety at that time, and when we get a job, then we are looking for better package to get a good job. Oh, this job is good, but it's not in my location, I must shift. So constantly we see we are unsatisfied, even though we are getting, but we wanted, even we wanted a good job, we got a good job, but we are not satisfied because all of our parameters, they are not satisfying. So somewhere or other there is always a pinprick of dissatisfaction. And then after, if you get a job, then good job, because if you don't have a good job, no one will marry. Everyone is trying for to get the best match as possible. So even if you marry, then maintaining them and then meeting their demands, and especially nowadays work-life balance, there is so much work, like working. Earlier it was just 9 to 5, 8 hours. Now it's like 10 hours, to sometimes 12 hours, and it's just without pay. So much burden in going through all of this process, and we are working very hard. When you have a family, then we need to maintain a certain kind of status. How people look to us, what is our car, where is our house, is it a good house, what are those things of us. So for maintaining this, we have to work very hard, and no matter how much we try to, however much money we get, we'll always suffer from this anxiety. Because if we see, there are plenty of people, those who have enough money in this world, but still they are in anxiety because they want to maintain their present position. Politicians, even if they get to a higher post, they want to be on that post forever. They do not want any opponent to come in, any opposite party may come and throw them out. They do not want it. So they sometimes adopt unfair means, goes even to commit crimes. So even big business people, they have enough money in the world to live comfortably, but because to maintain their present position, they are in anxiety. Or if they do not work as hard they are working now, someone else will take over. So they are in constant anxiety. And this is just another story. Old age, disease comes. No matter what you are, who you are, it doesn't care for your status. It will come. Disease, old age, no one can stop this. This is eventual. Old age will come, and only when you are old you will know what is this suffering of old age. If we see our grandparents, our elderly people, we just say, okay, their time has come. They enjoyed their life, so now this is their time to not enjoy. But our time will also come when we'll be in their situation, and it's intense suffering. You cannot eat. You cannot walk, you cannot exercise properly, you cannot do what you like to do. If you like playing sports, you cannot do that. If you like playing video games or watching movies, you cannot do that. You don't have enough eyes, hearing issues, so many problems. You just meet old people. They are just suffering like anything. But we think like by power of Maya that we will never become old. We'll always be this forever young, forever 21. They have put one brand like forever 21, always you'll be this. But this is just illusion. This is just Maya covering their knowledge. Everyone is, we are seeing the example. There is no one like who has never become old. So how is that like we will never become old? There will be a time then we will be old, and we would just have to suffer. So, but we do not like to think about this, because we think, what's the point of thinking about all of these things? There is no use. We cannot make any solution. So better focus what we have. But we will see. Bhagavad Gita, it explains differently. There is a solution for all of these things. These things, they are not normal. We do not want it. There is a solution for this problem, and Bhagavad Gita, it prescribes this solution. And of course, after old age, death is inevitable. We have a proverb in English, as sure as death. So everything may be unsure, but death is sure. Death is sure to come. And we may think, okay, finally, good peace, death is there. Old people, if you ask them, they always say, this relative has passed, this relative has passed, when will my time will come, I am just waiting for my death. They think after death it will be over. But no, it's not like this. After death, you'll take birth again. Again, you have to repeat school. Again, if we are fortunate to get a human birth, actually, if we get again doing all of these things, for what? For no satisfaction at all. But so much intense hard work. So now we might question this. Why to discuss all of these things? We know this. We have gone through this. Okay, there is some effort. There is some hard work, so we shouldn't shy from it. We should do the hard work. We should not just try to simply enjoy. There is some hard work. No need to discuss all of this. But we forget the suffering, how much we suffered while going through to get some simple material gain. We suffered a lot, and we forget that because we get intoxicated with the happiness. You get a job, you get a family, and you think, oh, this is very nice. But if we forgot, like, how much suffering was there, to get here, and even if we are there, still we are suffering. So this, our knowledge is covered by Maya, and Shastras, they tell us to not be in Maya, but to understand our situation. What is the reality? Actually, life is not meant for this. Shastras, they tell us, life is not just meant for working hard for just small pleasure, a drop of pleasure. But life is actually meant to enjoy, but on spiritual platform. The Vedanta Sutra, it describes like Anandamaya Bhyasat, like the soul as being a part and parcel of God. It's meant to enjoy. We are eternally blissful. There is no old age, no birth, no death, no disease. Nothing. These are very unnatural things which are forced upon us. Because of our wrong actions and desires, we are trapped in this cycle. So that's why the scriptures, they tell us this life is a chance for us to escape this suffering cycle. And this human body we have got is like a loophole, and we can get back to our original spiritual nature of Sat Chit Ananda, eternally blissful and eternally blissful knowledge and happiness. We can get all of these things. So that's why the Bhagavad Gita and all the Vedic scriptures, they describe us to get the maximum benefit of our current situation. Even though we have so many problems, but still we can solve all of these problems for good if we consult the scriptures. So all of this are our problems, whatever is happening in our life, we understand from Shastra that is due to our karma. If we do good, we get good results. If we do bad, we get bad results. Simple is like this. But if you see in life, actually, many good people, they suffer, and there are many bad people, they prosper. And then we question, like, is it really worth to do good? Or shall we take the unfair means to get to the top? We question like this. But actually karma is a fact. It is not that just this karma, what we are doing in our life, that is acting. Whatever we did previously, because this life is not just all in all. This life is a continuation. We had previous birth, we had previous bodies. In that, in which way we acted, it will come in that. If we acted sinfully, if we hurt others, then again we'll be put into situations where we'll be hurt, will not be given opportunities. Our abilities will be very less. We see, from example, there are just from birth, someone is very underprivileged. Maybe they do not have a father, or they don't have both parents, or they are very poor. Means even if they try very hard, they can really, even if they try very hard, they can really manage to come to what we say in Indian say middle class. That's very hard for them just to be situated on the middle class. But whereas we see on other side, sometimes people, they are born in very opulent family, no need to work, money is there, you have good relatives, good connections. So for them, life is not so much struggle. So this disparity is due to karma, and karma is not just this life, past life as well. If we act impiously or sinfully in this life, next life will be also be a suffering for us. So just like in Bhagavatam, it's described like what is the characteristic of good karma? And there is a shloka, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribhir. Janma is one will get a good family he'll get a good family. In a good family he will get birth. Means aristocratic family, big families he'll get a birth. And Aishwarya means opulence. There will be no limit to what to spend, where to spend. You'll get enough of this if we have very good karma, and you'll be very educated, and you'll have very beautiful body. So this is the feature of good karma. And other opposite of this means you are suffering from a bad karma. But karma either good or bad. If we do actions, we have to take birth again to reap the results of the karma. But taking birth again, going through all of these problems, if we saw, even if we have all the facilities, still will not be anxiety free. No one is anxiety free in this world. Everyone is more or less in anxiety to either increase their status or to maintain their status. So, but Bhagavad Gita says we can get free from karma by surrendering to Krishna. In Gita there is one verse, Daivi Hesha Gunmai Mam Maya Duratya Mam Eva Prapadyante Maya Hitam Tarantite. So if we surrender to Krishna, our whatever is good or bad karma will get free from their reactions. The example is given, just like so does it mean that we will not act? Because as soon as we are acting, we are doing some karma. If we are eating, if we are walking, if we are doing some, if we are working, if we are doing some job, certainly there is some karma. So how it is that we will not have the results for it? The answer is given like this: if we surrender to Krishna, what it means, whatever we do, if we offer the results, if we do it for Krishna, then there will be no karma. Just like devotees, they cook prasadam, they take food, but they offer it to Krishna first. So that's why it's karma free, right? And whatever they are doing, just like if they are working, they'll give some percentage of the whatever money they have earned to Krishna. So that is without karma. So in this way, if they act, they will be interacting with the world, not like sitting idly, but still they will be without karma, because they are giving everything to Krishna. And another example we can understand this. Just like a soldier is there in a battlefield. If a soldier kills an enemy, he'll be awarded a gallantry award. He did such a nice job. But similarly, if the soldier, if he kills on his own account as a civilian or without authority, he'll be punished, or maybe some punishment would be there for him. So, but the process, but what he did is the same. The action is shooting only, but one is without authority, one is with proper authority. So if we act according to Krishna, then there will be no karma. But if we act on our own, from our own mind, then their karma will act. Then we would have to suffer either the good or the bad result. But if we do for Krishna, there will be no karma. And whatever we are doing, it's by their use, it becomes spiritual or material, means karma free or with karma. Just like money is there. Many people, they say money is Maya, or everything is Maya. You just go to Himalayas. But actually, how we are using these things, it makes it what spiritual or material. Just like a flower is there. A flower is there, but if we offer it to Krishna, it's not Maya, it's spiritual. So similarly, by their proper use, it becomes spiritual or material. We understand this to overcome this suffering cycle. We must surrender to Krishna. We must understand Krishna. So why really to understand Krishna? We have so much of other things to achieve. So much of our time is spent in studying or working or other things. Why to dedicate some portion in understanding Krishna? So there is a verse in Bhagavatam which described like why do we need to understand about Krishna. They say Nate vidu swartha gatim he Vishnu. It means like they do not know, the people, they do not know that their real self-interest to know about Vishnu or Krishna. everyone is interested in their own interest. How I am benefited, where I will get benefit. We'll go where we have some benefit. If we go to a class because we will learn something, we'll be able to get a good job, or if we switch jobs because it's in our benefit, we are getting something. But ultimate benefit is to understand Vishnu. If we understand Vishnu, then we'll get ultimate benefit, because Vishnu is sincere most friend. Lord Vishnu is a dearmost friend, just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram yajna tapsam sarva loka maheshwaram suhirda sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim rachati. So Krishna is suhirda. He is the most well-wishing friend of everyone. It's not just my friend, your friend, or someone else's friend. It's his friend of everyone. So if we take his guidance, if we try to follow him sincerely, whatever he says, we understand it, we follow it, no, not blindly, we understand it, how it is applicable, how do I apply it in our life. If we understand that, if we follow it, then our life, it will become very, very blissful to live such a life, because we cannot control everything in our life. So many factors are there. Even our health we cannot control. We thinking to control others. Our health we cannot control. Our economic situation, sometimes it collapses. Sometimes we have job. Sometimes we are thrown out of jobs. There is no guarantee. Even if you have job, sometimes the management, they will say there is some financial issues. They may cut the workforce, because that's the easiest way to cut the company's operational cost. Like this, problems will come. But if you understand, like Krishna is our, Krishna is the friend of everyone. If we follow his guidance, then he is the supreme controller. He says, Sarva Loka Maheshwaram in that verse in Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, 29th verse. He is controller of everything. So it makes sense. Like we cannot control all the things. So who can control all the things? Okay, let me take guidance. Okay, if I take guidance, will I be exploited? Because I'm not really working according to my plans or my ambitions. So will I be exploited? Will there be some problems if I work according to someone else? No, the answer is given. Suhirda sarva bhutanam. Krishna is well-wisher of everyone. So there will be, he'll always look to the for the benefit of our spiritual life. It's not like problems will not come. Problems will come, but we will understand this is for my benefit. Krishna is trying to teach me something, and you will see yourself. This problem helped you a lot to make advancement in spiritual life. So it will not be just just suffering uselessly. Shama eva hi kevalam, with just useless suffering. It's not people, they are suffering uselessly. But whatever happens when you follow Krishna, his guidance, then we do not suffer uselessly. We suffer sometimes problems. It's not like you will not get disease, we will not have some problems. There will be problems, but we will understand like Krishna is trying to teach us something. And we see by our practical example, like we learn so much from this problem. So and by understanding Krishna, we get free from anxiety and lamentation. We always have some, they say, Brahma bhuta prasthana atma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti labte param. You become free from anxiety and lamentation. We always have some anxiety to have a good job, money, friends, family, position, recognition. We are always in anxiety where I'll get all of these things. And then we have lamentation. If we get these things, then we do not want to lose these things. We do not want to lose our position. We do not want to lose our money, friends, family members. So this is an intense lamentation if we lose all of these things. Just imagine if someone is a rich person and he loses all of his money. Somehow there is market is so volatile. He loses all of his money. So how much suffering would be for that person? So by surrendering to Krishna, we get free from this cycle of anxiety and lamentation. And how do we really understand about Krishna? Just we start meditating, start just sitting idly, think about Krishna. No, we must consult. There are two ways to get knowledge. First of all, by our senses, which is known as the inductive process. I see something, I observe, I give a theory, I said choose some axioms, then we work on the results, then we give some theory. This is known as inductive process of getting knowledge. But we will see from our from Shastra, they tell us that this kind of process for acquiring knowledge, it will not give us truth anytime, not like just for now. It can never give us the truth, because human beings, they suffer with 4 defects. This is like imperfect senses, we are illusion, and we commit mistake, and we have a cheating propensity. So due to all of these defects, this process of getting knowledge, this inductive process of getting knowledge is flawed. For example, take for imperfect senses, we need some light source to detect the presence of something. For example, we are seeing through a telescope to whether there is something out of galaxy or not. We cannot really know, because if there is no light source, we'll see everything is dark. Or we will try to use other methods, but we cannot really know what is there. We can just guess it, and it may or may not be true. So this method can never give us truth. And another example would be just like a child. He wants to know his father. He will go to if he goes and asks everyone, "Are you my father? Are you my father? Are you my father?" So he may or may not get the answer. But if he asks his mother, like, "Who is my father?" then mother can really tell. So this process is deductive. He asked his mother, asked authority. A mother can tell about his father. So this process is known as avroha pantha. So means taking knowledge from Shastra, taking knowledge from authorities which are perfect, not just any person. Taking knowledge from authorities which are perfect. And one objection may be like science, it's giving theories which work. It's not like science is useless. It's giving theories which are working. We have Wi-Fi, we have internet, 5G, so many things, electric cars, so many inventions are there. So why we are saying like this inductive process is futile for knowing the truth? Because it may be that science is giving theories which are working, but the data, if we understand properly, like the data which falsifies our theory or work may not be available. Means we might not have that kind of data which falsifies our theory. For example, there is Newton's laws of gravitation. So it is accepted to be true. It was accepted to be true. But then Einstein came and he gave some different he gave some different kind of law. Well, this is there, because Einstein's law doesn't work for very large objects which are very distant. So we see it was taken to be true, Einstein law, but it was not true. Something he missed out some data, he missed out some observations. He didn't think of what happens when there are big galaxies at very far distances. But then Einstein came and he adjusted that. Now we have some Einstein's theory about gravity. But in future someone else will come which Einstein left. Oh, this he didn't really consider about these things. So that theory will also be scraped off. So this method of inductive process is never going to give us the truth, because of our imperfect senses. We cannot really have the full data at any point of time. We are limited. We are in this universe in a small planet. So how can we have access to all information, all data, all probabilities and occurrences? We can never have. So this will never give us the truth. So the actual process of receiving proper knowledge is avaroha pantha. It means to accept knowledge from this authorities, means descending process, deductive process. So by this Bhagavad Gita is meant to be understood in this manner. So it's coming through parampara. Like Krishna, he first gave this knowledge to Brahma, and the Brahma gave to this Narada, and Narada gave to Vyas. Like this parampara is continuing through, and in parampara we have to receive this knowledge. Krishna says, "Evam parampara praptam, evam rajarishyo vidu." I gave this knowledge in parampara. He was saying in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I gave this knowledge in parampara. Now this knowledge is lost. That's why I am again establishing this parampara. So this knowledge we have to take in parampara, and then how shall we take it? What should be our attitude? People, they read Bhagavad Gita, but they cannot figure out like what it is meant for, what is the aim of Bhagavad Gita. because they miss the process of understanding Bhagavad Gita, which says, tad vidhi pranipatena paripashnena sevaya ubdakshanti te jnanam jnaninas nitya ganyanas tattva darshina. Means we have to surrender to a guru. We must inquire, surrender, service and inquiry. It's not like we just blindly surrender or we give absurd inquiries. Proper service attitude, inquiries must be there to make advancement. And attitude, what should be our attitude to understand Bhagavad Gita? It's given in Bhagavad Gita. No need to refer to some other guru or some scriptures. It's right there in Bhagavad Gita. Just like how Arjuna he understood Bhagavad Gita. Just like when Arjuna if you have some idea about Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna he was very bewildered to fight or not fight. His relatives are there. If fight will take place, then all of them will be killed. It will not be good. So he was perplexed about his duty, what he should do. So then he spoke this verse to Krishna. Karpanya dosha upata sabhava pachyami tvam dharma sammuda cheta yash shayan nishchitam bruhitan me shishyaste aham sadhimam tvam prapannam. This translation is like this: I am confused about my duty. I have lost all the composure because of my marginally weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me what is the best for me. Now I am your disciple, a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Shishyaste aham sadhimam tvam prapannam. If we read Bhagavad Gita, like from chapter 1, chapter 2, 18 chapters are there, Krishna didn't instruct anything to Arjuna. He was just listening, whatever he was saying. Oh, if we fight, this will happen, sin will happen, we'll go to hell. So many arguments he was giving. But Krishna, he never gave any instructions. Until Arjuna, he surrendered. I am a disciple, I have a soul surrendered unto you. Please tell me, what shall I do? Then Krishna started. Because if someone is not in a mood to listen, no matter what good instruction you give, he will just do whatever he wants. So it's required that if we really want to understand what is good for us, then we should have proper attitude of understanding or surrendered attitude to understand Bhagavad Gita. And we understand what happens really when you read Bhagavad Gita. It says just when we take bath, our outer body it becomes cleansed. But when we read Bhagavad Gita, it purifies our consciousness. It just like in our heart so many dirty things, bad habits are there. By reading Bhagavad Gita, it purifies us. And what will be the result of purifying? There is a shloka. It says, Tapo divyam putraka yen sattvam shuddhet yasmad brahma sokhyam tam anantam. We will get brahma sokhyam tam anantam. This spiritual pleasure which is unending, anantam. Antam means which ends, anantam means which doesn't end. We'll get this kind of spiritual pleasure. We understand from the Shastra, there are different pleasures. Some people, three pleasures, mostly. Mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness. Basically, to put it simply, some people, they take pleasure in just sleeping, being lazy, not doing nothing all day. Others take pleasure in doing some things, achieving things, big goals. Others take pleasures in poetry or watching movies or doing some intellectual work. So all of these are different categories of happiness. But what is but even if we do that, we are not really satisfied. So what is this ultimate happiness we are searching for? That is spiritual happiness, Brahma Sokhyam Tam Anantam. And this kind of happiness is unlimited. So by reading Bhagavad Gita, we become pure, and in pure consciousness, we can experience this spiritual pleasure, which is unlimited. And this material pleasure about this money, cars, women or other things, it will not attract us, because artificially we may try to stop from them, but it's not possible, because we must seek pleasure. If we are not seeking pleasure spiritually, we must come down to a material plane. You cannot force your mind. No one can control their mind just by forcing. So many examples are there in Shastras. Big yogis, they tried, but ultimately they couldn't, because mind is so much strong. But if we have some spiritual pleasure, we'll be able to sustain on that path. So this is very much required. And this is one result of reading Bhagavad Gita. Another result would be we would get a knowledge to how to function with this world. Because if we see, this human body is just like a machine. You can look up online so many videos that how DNA is replicating, how energy is being produced. It's all a process is happening inside. How there is a electrical transmission system, neurons are there, our body is being controlled. It's just like a very advanced machine. And this world is also controlled. There is an order. Everywhere systems are going on, ecosystems. Rain is there. This this ozone layer is there protecting us. So all of this is there. So means there is some order. There is some plan for all of these things. So by reading Bhagavad Gita, we'll understand what exactly is the plan which we are meant to execute. It's not just because if there is order, if there is plan, there must be some way to understand that plan. Who created this world? They can only tell what is the plan of this. Just like mobile phone, we can do so many things: social media, Instagram, Netflix, all of these, play games, play videos, watch TV series. But ultimately, a mobile phone is meant to make phone call, right? So we can do a lot of things in this world. We can go on a world tour, become a rock star, this scientist, that, whatever, advance in our career. But actually, is this what we are meant to do? We do not know. Who can tell us? Who has created this world? They can only tell. What is the actual plan? How will you get real happiness? So by understanding Bhagavad Gita, we understand plan of Krishna, who is behind everything in this world. We get a very intimate understanding of what is the plan of Krishna and how to act in this world. And by reading Bhagavad Gita, we understand Supreme Controller, under whom everything is in control. And if we understand, like we discussed, we cannot control everything. But Krishna, he is Supreme Controller. Just like we have some desire, then we have to act on it, and then we have to make so many plans. Then we may or may not fulfill our desire. But who is Krishna? He is not like this. Whatever his desire is, it's a fact for him. He is so much powerful. So if we submit to his control, who is our well-wisher, then we will actually feel in our life is much more peaceful, much more blissful in the service of Krishna, in understanding Krishna. So the choice is there, Krishna or Maya, because everyone is a servant in this world. And we may ask, like, how everyone is a servant? I am not a servant. Maybe this president of USA is not a servant. Is that top? A servant is someone who is down, right? But actually, it's not like this. But with Maya power, we think like everyone is independent. We are independent. I am like a king in this world. It's there in Bhagavad Gita. Like we have this mentality of Ishvara aham bhogi, siddho aham balavan sukhi. I am controller. I am enjoyer. I am most perfect. I am most powerful. We have this mentality. But is it like this? No. But everyone thinks like this. Why? Due to power of Maya. We are illusion. So similarly, this president of United States or any other nation is not free. He is not independent. If he does not act according to what public wants, he'll be thrown out. It will happen. So he has to serve public. So similarly, all other positions, even if you are a commander, something, you must serve. We are here to serve, willingly, unwillingly. We are serving bosses which we don't like. We are serving managers which we don't like. Why? We are forced to put in such a condition. But we can get out of this if we surrender to Krishna. And when serving Krishna is not out of force, Krishna, he doesn't wants anything from us. He is Atma Rama. He is self-satisfied. So what does he want really? Nothing. But still he asks in Bhagavad Gita to offer a leaf, a flower. Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhaktya prachyati. You give me a little flower, little water. You give me. Krishna is not hungry. But he says, bhaktya prachyati. Give me with devotion. So that we can experience like what actually it's meant to serve Krishna. How much happiness is there to serve Krishna. To serve these people, there is no happiness. Serving our bosses, serving our managers, serving this or that. There is not much pleasure in this. But if we serve Krishna, there is immense pleasure. And this Krishna is known as the reservoir of all pleasures. In Taittiriya Upanishad, there is one shloka, Raso Vai Saha. Krishna is reservoir of all pleasure. And if we connect to him, will experience how much pleasure is there in, in connecting with, in understanding Krishna, in doing service of Krishna. And with this pleasure, we can, everything else will become insignificant. Whatever was, very dear to us, whatever was very, exciting to us, it will become, so much, insignificant. So, for example, if like a child, he may like to, ride a bike, his bicycle maybe. But if he grows up and someone gives him a bullet, he'll forget the taste of, bicycle. Such a nice bike, he will drive that. So spiritual life is like this. We are looking after some, material happiness in this world, but actual happiness is spiritual happiness. And material happiness never satisfies us, even if you get it. Some satisfaction is there, but again dissatisfaction. But spiritual life, that pleasure is like Ananda Buddhi Vardhanam. The pleasure is increasing at every step. Such a pleasure, and you are not dissatisfied. You are happy, but you want more of it. So it's like this, and it's increasing. So this spiritual pleasure we are actually meant to experience. But with the material consciousness, we cannot understand this. But if we purify our consciousness by hearing Bhagavad Gita, attending classes, and reading books about Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, then we can purify ourselves and we can attain this spiritual pleasure. So Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions? Anything? Okay, then we'll end here. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
How we can balance
Okay.
material life and spiritual life?
How to
Since
balance?
many of us are working and all.
How to balance material life and spiritual life? So it's like a bad bargain. We must work in this world. We must associate with people. We are living outside. How do we do it? So if we have a bad bargain, then then what do? We try to maximize the bad bargain. We can morning we have some schedule. We can try to make some time to read Bhagavad Gita, follow instruction. We can do service for Krishna as much as possible. And it's understandable. Like in Vedic times, this people, they didn't used to work throughout their whole life. Like 25 years was meant for brahmacharya, 25 lives for household life, and 25 for vanprastha and 25 for sannyasa. Because these divisions were there, so people, they would work, but not so much throughout their lives, not till 80, 70, 60. They would keep some time for understanding spiritual life. So this period what we have, so we should try to cultivate knowledge and service attitude to Krishna in whatever way possible. And Sundays you might be free, weekdays might not possible. So weekdays you understand, you read Bhagavad Gita, you do chanting, and on weekends we can go to serving Krishna, trying to learn about like what is the proper service attitude, how to advance. So with this process, it will gradually purify us. We will not understand how we are being purified, but if we are sincere, if we take association carefully, we become purified. So there is no reason to become despondent or morose, like we are there in this world, others they have opportunity. It's not like this. Everyone can take this opportunity, and you will feel. When I was working, I read Bhagavad Gita 2-3 times when I was working. I took out time, I understood. So if we have time, we have to just prioritize it. If we prioritize it, just like I said, Krishna is supreme controller. He will control other factors. We cannot control so many things, our family, or this economic situation, job situation. But if we get this point, like Krishna is supreme controller, I must understand him, and this is what we are meant to do, and everything else will be adjusted. So this is the central point to understand. But if we are slack on this principle, okay, Krishna is there, I have my life, why to bother with all this, then it will not really help. So Prabhupada used to say, sincerity is the key. If we are really sincere, we are really eager to understand Krishna, then he will open every door possible to get back to him, to make us advance in spiritual life. So, okay. Any other questions? Okay. So, can you stop? Can you stop this? Okay. So, Hare Krishna. So now we will do what is called Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting. So in this,
We are